The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. Hello, my friend Margie. How are you?
I am well.
Happy Tuesday.
I knew you were going to say that.
Happy hot Tuesday.
Oh,
the
my gosh.
heat is back.
Well, we have to have a little bit more before we go into the cold.
I'm okay with it. I like heat.
I don't.
I like it
the
hot.
cold.
I like it. I like it hot. The cold makes me think, a long, boring winter. When the sun is out, I'm feeling good and more active. So, yeah, I'm sad about that. But
Well, it was funny because when I first started dating Lee and we had our first snowstorm in Toronto, I went, "Oh, it's snowing." And I got he said, "You need a psychiatrist." And then after X number of years, he said, "Let's move to the South. I can't stand, here's my hockey player husband.
Yeah.
Can't stand this cold."
Well, I think as I get older, I don't like the cold. I like it warmer, and I like it longer days. I don't like when they get shorter and all of that good stuff. So how was your weekend?
Oh my gosh, so much is going on. I don't even remember.
Well,
Other than it was just busy working, getting organized with nonprofits and stuff that I wanted to get done and get going and get out there. We've got our golf tournament coming on.
Gosh.
And that's in honor of our past president, Dina
Right.
Cola.
All right. And I know that we're both participating with the Rotary, the Wine Spectacular,
which I was working on that.
Saturday, October 26th. It's their 25th anniversary.
know.
So it's going to be a big year and a lovely evening.
Yeah, it always is.
It always is lovely. And I love to share the spotlight with you.
I love all the new things that are going on with nonprofits.
There's a lot. And you know what? Thankfully, we are partnered with the McIntosh Law Firm, you and I, and we have a sponsorship with them where they promote all the nonprofits in our community.
Yes.
So they are a lovely organization, a lovely law firm that has most, if not all, of the attorneys that work there somehow working, representing on a board position, doing something with the nonprofits in our community. And I love that about them.
And our past guest, Reverend David Judge, is having his open house this Friday
Okay, we want to make
with
sure
Early
everybody knows that.
Cornelia
Yeah.
Scholarship
Wonderful.
from 10 to noon at the Baptist Church on Catawba Avenue.
And that's just a drop in, right?
Just drop in, see what they're doing. I think it's a great idea
I think
because
it's
so many
awesome.
kids, 3 to 4, aren't ready to start kindergarten or nursery school or whatever.
Yeah,
And they get a little bit of a head start.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So this weekend, Saturday, I went to the Cornelius Jazz Festival.
Did
That-
you?
Yeah, that was in Smithfield. We got there a little bit early because my husband's kind of a stinker about parking and crowds and all that. So it filled up very quickly. That entire field was full. But outside the perimeter of the entire field was nonprofits. So I wasn't there. You weren't there.
No.
But I did do a walk around to everybody, introduce them, and gave them an opportunity to want to be represented on our
Absolutely.
show. And so I have a couple of names and numbers that
Good.
I'll be passing on to you. The folks at Habitat want to come on. Ada Jenkins wants to come on. There's a critical repair team. So lots of really wonderful people doing
Yeah.
really good stuff
Yeah.
that want some space on Community Centered. So we're going to make that happen.
Well, we do every week.
Yes, we do. We absolutely do. We do our best to include all of our non-for-profit brothers and sisters.
And this week, we're doing for the women who run nonprofits and the men,
Yes.
where to get yourself rejuvenated.
Wow. I can hardly wait.
I can't either.
I know
because
that.
they do everything to make you feel good.
Finally.
Yeah.
One-stop shopping.
Very much so. Very much so.
Well, I am excited for our listeners
and
to...
it's a Soul Wellness in Mooresville
Okay.
that will be representing us.
And that's
will be
Kristen. Awesome.
with us.
I hope she's going to be able to fit in all of the wonderful things that she
know, me
does in
too.
the short time that
And
we
we
have.
met years ago in my design world when she was working with window treatments.
Well,
and
clearly she
fabrics.
got the memo on the black and white here today because we were all dressed in black and white. I don't even know how that happened, but
Well,
we did it.
Fall is
So
coming, and you have to wear black and white now
I think so.
because after Labor Day, which I don't believe that anymore.
I think we're just three classy girls that just know how to dress and bring the bling. And so she joins the club with us
That's
today
right.
when we're going to be talking to her. So that's exciting for our
Yeah.
listeners to get that information. What else is going on?
I want to find time to come and help you with color
Yeah, we are,
because I
in
think
a
you're
build
getting
project.
to that stage where I
I'm
don't want you to be panicking.
I'm getting into I passed that stage. Okay,
Well,
I
let's
passed panic.
go back and get
Went
over
right
it.
into the fetal position. Okay, so our builder, who's been a wonderful, wonderful person, Richard Sheehan with Churchill Construction, has sort of taken on the role of mentoring us and me
Okay.
through the build, and it's gotten to the point where we're waiting on our last inspection, and then all of the interiors, sheetrock, flooring, cabinetry, will come next. And he kind of passed the baton on to me last week. And in one brief moment, as I was on site of the builds, looking around at all the work that needed to be done, not in one, but two houses, so double the work, I thought about this thing of where this feeling of uncertainty exists at the same time in the feeling of possibility,
Mhm.
right? So I could languish in the, oh my goodness, uncertainty of all
Yeah.
of it, and how am I going to get this done? So for a brief moment, I had a little tiny pity me party, like, how am I going to do this in addition to everything else? And I looked up and I saw one of the encouraging words that someone had written on some of the framing, and then obviously a scripture verse that said, I know the plans I have for you. And I was like, that's it, I'm done. Okay, what do we got to do?
Yeah.
So I put my GC hat on, and we're moving forward. And these two lovely gentlemen from Omnia Construction, Matt Bennett and Tyler Spencer, have answered the call.
Good.
While I was driving home from Matthews, I was like, you're going to have to help me here, God, and send me something. So these two gentlemen showed up, and I was like, I got a plan for you.
Good.
So we are moving forward.
Well, I would like to come and help you do that.
And I would
because-
love for your help with that, because that's how we make hope happen, right?
Yeah.
And hope is for everybody. And I
Absolutely.
need a little guidance by you. So
And we'll go into the healing colors and pick some healing
so exciting.
palettes that will help people
I'll be showing
feel
up
good.
every day on their doorstep, and they won't want me there, but I'll say, Miss Margie made this a healing place. So I appreciate that about you, Margie, and we'll get that done in the next week or so
Absolutely.
when you're
Yeah.
feeling top dog with this
Yeah.
vertigo
Oh
thing.
my God.
And hopefully you're going to get some relief here.
Not fun being a dizzy old broad.
You always surprise me with what you have to say. I think that's amazing. And you know what? Bring it on.
Yeah, you
Right?
got it.
Bring
You
it on
got
for
it.
sure. Hopefully, maybe our guest has some suggestions for you
I'm
today.
hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Well,
Yeah.
I know we're going to go to break here shortly, so I hope our listeners are staying tuned and staying in touch with us so that they can get some of the good resources Kristen brings for us.
I have never seen the list when I went onto their website of services they provide.
The spectacular things. I know.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
And, I've always done lymphatic drainage,
Mhm.
which really gets your whole body moving.
Sure.
And I've not been able to find anybody here.
Well,
that
you
does it.
came to the right place, or she came to the right
Yes.
place
Yeah.
to give us
Yeah.
that information when we come back from break. And
Can't
it's going to
wait.
be exciting. And I know, I think there's some other really wonderful things that she contributes. So when we come back, you're listening to Community Centered. I'm your host, Debbie O'Hanley, with my friend Margi Kyle. We'll be back shortly.
Stay with us. We'll have more of Community Centered presented by Macintosh Law with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the typical summertime weather is back. Heat and humidity really starting to crank up. Plenty of sunshine today as we climb into the low 90s, and that humidity going to make you feel hotter than that. Overnight, temperatures will stay mild and muggy. Temperatures falling down to around 70 the overnight hours, upper 60s around the outlying spots and farms. For our Wednesday and Thursday, our hottest days of the week, temperatures will climb into the mid and even upper 90s. Feels like temperatures in the low 100s. That's your forecast for the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like ISI Denver.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Langtree, Lake Norman, and Mooresville presents Vegas McGraw on Thursday, August 29th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with music starting at 7. The Langtree Live free concert series powered by Waves Entertainment rolls on this Thursday with Vegas McGraw. The Center Stage Alliance holds the Bluegrass Jam on Friday night. Bring your favorite instrument and come jam every Friday at 109 East Broad Street in Statesville. The Iredell County Fair opens Friday night at the Fairgrounds in Troutman. The 88th annual event, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club, features some of the best entertainment in the area, including go-kart racing, carnival rides for all ages, competitive 4-H exhibits and animal shows, the magic of Lance Gifford, and much more. The fair runs through September 7th. Gates and rides open weekdays at 5 p.m. and on weekends at 3 p.m. Tickets are $5, while kids 6 and under are free. Carnival ride tickets and wristbands are available at the ticket box. Enjoy the Iredell County Fair for 9 straight days beginning this Friday at the Fairgrounds in Troutman. The town of Davidson presents the Music and Makers concert series on Saturday. Main Street businesses will feature handmade items produced by local makers. Take advantage of the social district and enjoy live music at the Crazy Pig Stage on 402 South Main Street in Davidson beginning at 2 p.m. On September 7th, see the top riders from the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship as they compete on a custom-built course at Zenax Dragway. The playoff opener features a two-moto format for the 450cc class and the 250cc class, promising plenty of drama and excitement the moment the gates drop. The Super Motocross Fan Fest is a pre-race event taking place from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. where you can see the teams practice, prepare, and qualify for the playoff round and is included in the event ticket. Don't miss the biggest Super Motocross race of the year. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com or the CMS app for information and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call 844-STUDIO-4 now to join the Community Center discussion on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Presented by Macintosh Law.
Welcome back. We have a fun-filled rest of the hour, but before we get into introducing our guest, I want to thank Macintosh Law Firm once again for the support they do in this community. We have a student from Iredell High School, Jacqueline Maglet, who on Saturday, September 28th at 9 a.m. is hosting a pickleball tournament. I wish I still could play that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. At Homestead at the Farms, and I think the guys have flashed that on the screen. And it's $30 per team. And it's to sponsor Bridge of Hearts, which we've had on our show.
Yeah, we had Linda as a guest.
As well. So thank you, Macintosh, for keeping our nonprofits doing well. So it is my pleasure to introduce a gal that I didn't realize we had worked together years ago in the design industry, but Kristen Phillips is now owner and doing some amazing things in Mooresville to help people build themselves back up in a positive way. I don't think there's anything you don't treat, from birthing babies, labor doula. I could have used that. Sound therapy, lymphatic drainage. Kristen, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
How did you go from draperies to health?
You know, it was the corporate squeeze that got me.
Yeah.
I was traveling the entire country.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah. So you and I were probably running into each other at the airport, and certainly at High Point Market, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
So it just got to the point I just couldn't handle it anymore. It was too much. It was very soul-sucking, and I knew there was something else I needed to be doing with my time.
Yeah.
And I had always wanted my own business, and I loved the thought of a co-working space. Started talking to people in the community and realized that there was a need for holistic providers to have a place to practice.
Yes.
And I thought, how wonderful would it be to have a center filled with holistic practitioners that can have a synergy together, that can refer to each other and create just this healing center for our community.
Well, there's power in numbers.
Yeah.
So just to be out there saying, I do lymphatic drainage. Most people would
That's
say,
quite the transition from
Yeah.
soul sucking to soul wellness.
Right?
That's a big jump.
That's exactly what happened.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Because I don't feel like I work at all now. It's so much fun. And during the beginning of starting the business, I was working all the time.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like work, but I would work all day into the night. Couldn't wait to get up in the morning and do it again.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It was just when you find your purpose, when you find what you're supposed to be doing, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Okay,
worth it.
so just the average person listening says, I probably need one of these services, but I'm not even sure
Right.
which one I would need. Start with your website,
Start with the website,
which is www.
.soulwellness.net.
Okay.
Yes, you'll see a whole list of providers there. And even if you come to the center physically, I've got everybody's picture up on the window, on the glass.
Yeah.
So that people walking by, they don't even have to come in. They can see who's there that practice there. And everything's broken down by categories. There's a lot of physical modalities. So if you're in chronic pain, if something
Yeah.
physically is bothering you, you know who to go to. There's mental health. We have a psychiatrist. We have counselors. There's energy healing. That might be a good one for you with some of the stuff you were telling me about at break. There's prenatal. There's just so many different facets. And I really wanted that type of resource for the community. No matter what you're dealing with, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, whatever it is, you can come in and I can give you a resource. There's definitely resources there.
Wow.
Probably multiple.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it addresses like the 7 pillars of health. You just
Yeah.
choose one or all
That's right.
and go to town. That's amazing. Thank you
Yes.
for
Right.
creating that space in our community. Is it like sometimes some of these places where you see the hair salons that are all in one building together?
So-
And yeah.
Funny that you asked. That's what inspired me. I
Okay.
would get my hair cut at Sola Salon.
Yes.
And every time I walked into Sola Salon, I would look around and think, this is the neatest business.
I know.
Everybody's doing kind of the same thing or similar things, but they don't feel a competition between each other because they know each other's strengths.
That's right.
And it kind of operates itself. Everybody's happy. They're doing their thing. They're able to have their own business. And I'm very passionate about helping people get out of corporate America and start their own business, obviously. That's where it all started.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
exactly where it all
So
started.
you getting your hair done and
Getting
you
my
look
hair
around
cut.
and you say,
And I would just,
there's got to be a better way.
yeah, I'd just ask my hairstylist that I've been to for decades, question after question about
have great hair,
how
by the
this
way.
runs. James Dula. He's amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
He's amazing. So yeah, that's actually where it started. But I didn't know what I was going to do with a co-working space. I just knew I liked that business.
Mhm.
It was a matter of me being very interested in holistic, alternative
Yes.
modalities, and that's because I worked in pharmaceuticals before I was in
I was going to ask
drapery
you.
hardware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
There's a big difference.
a
Yeah.
big difference. And that 10 years of experience was so eye-opening
I bet.
that, I mean, I was just like, there's a better way.
Can you imagine being in it now with the Ozempics and Mongeros and Wegovys and all of that?
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I was very lucky to have worked for 2 really small pharmaceutical companies, so I never got exposed to big pharma or any of that. I believed in what I was selling. So thank goodness it was a positive experience. But I can tell you, as I was getting to know doctors all over this town, I would just hear things. You know, you can't help but hear things when
Sure.
you're back in those offices.
Mhm.
And I would just shake my head. I'm like,
Oh
this
my
isn't
gosh.
right.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
isn't right. You don't have to throw a pill at everything to make it better.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's
You
right.
don't.
Yeah.
In fact, that could cause other problems.
That's right.
So
So you have this great idea, this aha moment as you're getting you're under the blow dryer and you're like, this is what I have to do. What's next? Do you go out and look for real estate and a building and then?
once I got a business plan written down and I got really clear about what I was going to do, I started talking to every holistic provider in town that I could find.
Okay.
What would be the most ideal place? What would that place offer you? What would it look like?
Yeah.
What would be there? And classrooms. Everybody kept saying there needs to be classrooms. So for workshops and classes. Okay. So as I'm listening to this, I'm drawing a floor plan. And it just came together. It just came
Wow.
together. And the next big decision was, where in the world am I going to put this? Because that's got a huge piece to it, right? I just stumbled on a big, huge empty space at Merino Mill, the old Merino Mill.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a huge space right in the entrance of the mill. Right now, I'm nice and tucked right between a restaurant and Defined Coffee, so it's perfect. I get all this walking traffic.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Walk by traffic. So it just was meant to be. I'm telling you, once I found that spot, it took off. And when COVID happened, the design company pulled me off the road, and
That's right.
I put the pedal to the metal. I was
Yeah.
like, we're going under construction right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Don't you
Yeah.
love the synchronicity of the spirit when it all comes
Yeah,
together like
that's
that? And
exactly
you're
right.
like, there are no coincidences,
I
right?
agree.
You were meant to create this space because, especially after COVID,
Yeah.
so much healing needs to happen.
Yeah.
And I think people forgot about what that felt like to feel that support in the community
I
during
agree.
COVID. So timely.
Well,
It's a good
they
time
still
for you,
have
too.
forgotten. They need to get back to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh,
It was a scary time, and it was a scary time to open a new business.
Oh, boy.
But I had to keep the faith. I was like, I'm this place is meant to be. I know
Did you
this is
open
meant to
during
be.
COVID?
I did, January 4th of 2021. So it was right in the mix of the yuck. People would come to the door with their mask on and say, "Do I need to wear this to come in?" Like, you do whatever makes you comfortable.
Yeah.
I would always say, just leave your fear outside.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow.
It'll be there when you
yeah.
come back out. But we
Yeah.
don't have fear in here, and we've got things that you need in here. So it was really beautiful, actually.
Actually,
I bet it was.
Yes,
What
I
a
wish
pla-
I'd known.
What a place of respite,
Yeah.
you know, and relief, because I feel like that's, like you said, that we just all lived in fear. Well, you know, I always talk about how it relates to Hope House of what transition looks like, right? That fear of the unknown, not knowing what your future looks like. Suddenly, our entire community, our entire nation
Yeah.
was thrown into transition
Right.
of not knowing what was next. So having something like that, hope on the horizon and relief in our community, gosh, I wish I knew about it.
I did too.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
that would have been
loved it.
wonderful.
It's
Well,
amazing to see.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's amazing to see what I see every day. People having profound epiphanies in their life, and healing is taking place. I can see it every day.
Wow.
So it really is
What
amazing.
a blessing to
Yeah.
be able
Yeah.
to witness that and to see that there is purpose
Yes.
in what it took to get you there and to make this come to fruition. So well done, and especially during COVID.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like
But I bet you have really great drapes in there.
You know,
I got one of my customers put in some nice roller shades.
Nice.
Windows. Yeah, they're very beautiful.
is that Linda Reese?
great.
No.
No, it was Budget Blinds.
Okay.
That was Budget Blinds was my customer, as was J.C. Penney. So
Yeah,
that's what kept me
okay.
busy.
Yeah. Good.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
So what kinds, we talked a little bit, we touched about it. Oh, well, we're going to go to break here shortly, but when we come back, maybe you can touch on what some of those modalities look like and how someone might be able to get in contact with you or
Absolutely.
those practitioners, because I think there's some folks that might be listening that are excited to
Absolutely.
learn that there is hope on the horizon.
Yes. And there's such a wide variety of practitioners at Soul Wellness, so I guarantee I can lead them in the right way.
I don't
Yeah.
even think we have to sell it anymore. I think people are so disillusioned by the medical professional that they're like, who can help me?
I know.
And to be led there by
When
someone
you've
like
seen
yourself.
doctor after doctor after doctor and you haven't gotten anywhere and made any progress, then it's time to look at some alternative
That's
therapies.
amazing.
right.
When we come back, we're going to learn all about that. So stay tuned so we can get your contact information out there and get you healed.
Perfect.
There's still good in our community. It's community centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Presented by Macintosh Law.
Well, the typical summertime weather is back. Heat and humidity really starting to crank up. Plenty of sunshine today as we climb into the low 90s, and that humidity going to make it feel hotter than that. Overnight, temperatures will stay mild and muggy. Temperatures falling down to around 70 the overnight hours, upper 60s around the outlying spots and farms. For our Wednesday and Thursday, our hottest days of the week, temperatures will climb into the mid and even upper 90s. Feels like temperatures in the low 100s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/TC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarships/official rules.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family. Together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Hi, this is Susan. I'm excited to let you know that Lake Mountain Coffee is now available for private events. Our beautiful historic building with its 360-degree mezzanine has hosted many private parties, catered diners, and even an actual wedding. Please contact Andy at 704-252-1886 for more information. Thank you so much.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageandWellness.com with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Record high home prices are squeezing too many people out of home ownership. Home prices rose 5.4% nationwide in June from the same month a year ago. That's according to CoreLogic. That's nearly twice the rate of inflation. Seagram's liquor heir, Edgar Bronfman Jr., dropping out of the bidding war for Paramount Global. That means independent film producer Skydance Media will gain control of the Hollywood heavyweight for an already accepted offer of $4.3 billion, not the $6 billion Bronfman offered. Investors not too happy about that lower bid winning, sending shares of Paramount Global down nearly 6%. Elsewhere on Wall Street, stocks now a little bit higher after consumer confidence rose for a second month in a row in August, thanks to more upbeat views about the economy and lower inflation. The Dow up just a fraction, the Nasdaq and the S&P both up about 0.5% each. And Pizza Hut out with a pizza box that turns into a miniature cardboard table. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
McIntosh Law is a proud sponsor of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to Community Centered. We have our guest, Kristen Phillips with Soul Wellness Incorporated, visiting with us today. And we are learning, we learned through the break some of the amazing things that she can do for our community. And so we want to make sure that we get all of those good modalities out there and so that people know where to turn when they are experiencing something. So I'll just throw something out there that I recently had something. I reached out to a functional medicine doctor, and I've gotten more information in the last 14 days than I've had in a lifetime of trying to deal with something. So I highly recommend doing your research and finding out what modality that would work for you. But Kristen, take it away. Let us know, what are some of the things and why would you go to that practitioner?
Yes. Well, just like you just said, functional medicine is huge. Integrative medicine is huge because they're looking at the root cause and they're looking at you as a whole person. They're not just saying, oh, this is your symptom. Okay. And now as a doctor, I'm trained to give you this prescription for that symptom, because that's typically what Western medicine is trained to do. Now, there are things we definitely need Western medicine for, but I'm just saying, if you're not getting anywhere, if you're still feeling bad, there's alternative modalities, and functional and integrative medicine is a great place to start. We have both of those at the center. So even integrative dietitian, we have that at the center too. So gut health is a huge,
it's a biggie,
huge factor. You would not believe how much is associated with gut health. Even things like depression, anxiety, headaches, things you wouldn't tie to your gut at all, fatigue. So when your gut is off, everything is off.
Yeah.
We have a couple of practitioners that specialize in that, which is amazing. We've got mental health. So we have a psychiatrist there, and she's a DO, which I love.
Lovely.
Not a real big fan, of course. A DO is not going to put you on something for an extended period of time.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So learn how to deal with some things.
That's exactly right. So she's going to refer right out to the counselors that are at the center as well, which is a nice little synergy there. There's energy healing. There's spiritual coaching. So you have the other forms, modalities there as well, which is really interesting. If you haven't had that done, it's fascinating. We are energetic beings.
Yes.
And when an energy healer that has been a nurse for 30 years starts working on you and can tell by your chakras, your energy centers
we had Jadu on, and what she was talking about that.
Yes.
I've been working with her, and she's an energy healer.
It's amazing.
She is, because she sends you the colors you need, the vibrations, and the music. And
yeah. And they can feel.
That's
they can
right.
feel when a chakra is congested, so they already know something is brewing physically in that area. It's fascinating.
Very cool.
Right. There's also a whole prenatal branch of our soul wellness
Which I
tree.
think is wonderful.
I did not see that coming, to tell you the truth. When I opened the center, I did not see that coming, and I think it's so beautiful.
Well, as a grandma-to-be in early October, I can tell you I've experienced some of that with my daughter. So they've done a hypnobirthing class.
Yes.
They've done, it's a whole new world, Margie, about how you're going to bring a child into the world with a doula and all kinds of amazing, wonderful resources
all
and
of
tools.
that.
That's
We have
awesome.
A doula, we have lactation, childbirth support, we have hypnobirthing classes, we have elective sonography. So you can come see your baby anytime you want to.
Very cool.
Yeah, the live view, the movie view, or you can have pictures.
I will tell you,
we were scared to death when we went into labor.
I know. I will tell you, there's something that I think is up and coming, and you might not be aware of it, but a death doula is the next.
That's Lee's cousin, is the
next
end-of-life
thing,
doula.
and that is someone that can care for you and the family during end-of-life care, and I think that is so spectacular.
I do too.
Because that is a whole process and a transition as well, and it can be an absolute beautiful thing.
Well, and Lee and I did about a 15-minute video with her.
That's amazing.
And Hospice put it on their website.
I think
because he was
really
so
cool.
open about how he was feeling, how he wanted me to feel.
I think that everything that you're talking about is spectacular for our community. I think people need to be open to what the possibilities are, right? Because traditionally, like you said, with my issue, I went to the doctor, they prescribed a medication, and then they're like, oops, got to go off that medication. It's causing side effects. You're having heart arrhythmia. I was like, oh my Lord, which is worse, right? So then I finally threw up my hands and said, I need to go see someone who can tell me the why of this. Because doctors, we love them, we need them. They're only practicing medicine.
Right.
So why not be open to another kind of practice that can maybe give you a little bit more information and something alternative to help try to heal you?
I agree.
I think your whole place must be spectacularly filled with all kinds of positive vibes and energy because how could it not be?
That's right.
Thank you for bringing that to our community and having that vision. That is... And I hope any listener that's listening would be excited about how to get in touch with you and how possibly they could get in touch with any of these practitioners.
Well, on our website, again, which is www.soulwellness.net, there is a providers tab. And so you can just scroll right down the providers tab. We have I haven't even counted, but we have 30 suites in Soul Wellness.
This is a big place.
It's a big place.
Okay.
Much bigger than I had originally.
I started scrolling down. I was going to print it out, and I thought, no,
I'm not going to print this one.
Yeah.
It ended up being a lot bigger than I had planned.
Yeah.
But it was meant to be.
That building's got some cool vibes to it, too. Anyway,
does.
I think that's where Green Jean Consignment used to have their
Yes.
sale there. And I always saw the sign for your business there, and I think, gosh, What a cool spot.
It is a cool spot.
Yeah.
Well, and tell us when your expo is and what that's going to be about.
Yeah.
So the expo, we just planned that date. We do this about 3 or 4 times a year. So the next one is December 14th, and that's a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's from 11 to 4, and it's kind of an open house. The public can come in, and all of the providers, there'll be a provider in every room offering some
so
sort
that's
of
a
mini
beautiful
session.
start for many people.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Right?
You can have a mini session,
okay.
reduced price. Some will just be doing free consultations, and then you can walk around and shop for really cool things, because I'll have vendors there as well.
You can count on Margie and I being
I'll be there.
We love that.
We'll be there early.
Yes,
we'll be there
we will.
at 10:30. So
Maybe we
There
can,
you go. I'll
maybe
let
we
you
can get
in.
in early.
I'll let you in early.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And tell us, so if that wasn't enough, you have a podcast.
I know. Well, it just, I've got so much content.
Yeah.
And I want everybody in that building to thrive. I want all of these practitioners to really thrive. I'm the marketing and sales person. They typically, healers and people, practitioners, don't really like to do sales and marketing. That's all I've ever done. So it just makes sense for me to be out here talking on the radio, starting a podcast.
Yeah.
So people can go on any major podcast channel. They can even go onto YouTube and see
Okay.
Soul Wellness with Kristen is the name of the podcast. And I'm just interviewing tenants or other people in the community that are doing amazing things. Yeah. So it's all about connecting people.
It is.
It
really is.
That's great synergy. And really, how you make hope happen
That's right.
is you connect, you hold the hope for someone, right? It's
Absolutely.
an emotion. We hold it. And so you're giving it away, all
Yeah.
kinds of it away in
Yeah.
our
Which
community.
does put a smile on your face.
Yes.
I know.
Amen.
Yeah,
And-
we
and
have
maybe-
to have hope. We are made to heal ourselves.
Correct.
That's how we were made.
Well, I
So-
think with everything that's been going on lately, we've walked away from it. And we've
I know.
forgotten it.
We are far too entrenched in the negativity
Yeah.
and the loud chatter
Oh, I
that's
know.
happening in our community
Yeah.
and tuned into the wrong things.
I agree.
So if we could take the big step of just pushing that aside and stepping into something that's good and good for ourselves,
That's right.
amazing what we can do for this community. And then we could create an entire community of healers by just turning off the negativity.
I agree. I say it all the time. Turn off the news. Just turn it off.
That's right.
Just turn it off.
Just step away from the flame,
That's
and you
exactly
would
right.
Yeah.
do yourself a good favor.
That's right.
And get in touch with Kristen Phillips of Soul Wellness. Their website again is
www.soulwellness.net, and you can email me directly from that website. And my email address, info@soulwellness.net, is
But
on there.
the website is fascinating.
and there you'll find over 30 practitioners that
There's probably just a little less than 30 right now. I offer, and I'll tell you a little bit about the business, I offer month-to-month rent for the tenants. So I really want no fear in the house at all. I don't want this to be a space of stress
Yeah.
at all. So even the tenants, they can rent month to month. The classrooms can be rented daily. I have daily furnished rooms that can be rented, so they can just dip their toe in the water.
Hold that thought. Don't go away.
Okay.
There's more to come.
Okay.
absolutely, because we don't want to miss the opportunity here for our community to get
Yeah.
healed. So we will give you all that information when we come back from break with Kristen Phillips of Soul Wellness. I'm excited. I'm already thinking, where in my calendar can I fit a run up there? What about you, Margie? You thinking the same thing?
I am.
Yeah. I'm already.
After we pick the colors of the houses you're building, then we'll go on up there.
Okay, that sounds beautiful to me, and we'll stop by your special store for your canned drink too. We'll be back here shortly at Community Centered.
There's still good in our community. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC, presented by Macintosh Law.
Well, the typical summertime weather is back. Heat and humidity really starting to crank up. Plenty of sunshine today. as we climb into the low 90s, and then humidity going to make it feel hotter than that. Overnight, temperatures will stay mild and muggy. Temperatures falling down to around 70 in the overnight hours, upper 60s around the outlying spots and farms. For our Wednesday and Thursday, our hottest days of the week, temperatures will climb into the mid and even upper 90s. Feels like temperatures in the low 100s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Langtree, Lake Norman, and Mooresville presents Vegas McGraw on Thursday, August 29th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with music starting at 7. The Langtree Live free concert series powered by Waves Entertainment rolls on this Thursday with Vegas McGraw. The Center Stage Alliance holds the Bluegrass Jam on Friday night. Bring your favorite instrument and come jam every Friday at 109 East Broad Street in Statesville. The Iredell County Fair opens Friday night at the Fairgrounds in Troutman. The 88th annual event, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club, features some of the best entertainment in the area, including go-kart racing, carnival rides for all ages, competitive 4-H exhibits and animal shows, the magic of Lance Gifford, and much more. The fair runs through September 7th. Gates and rides open weekdays at 5 p.m. and on weekends at 3 p.m. Tickets are $5, while kids 6 and under are free. Carnival ride tickets and wristbands are available at the ticket box. Enjoy the Iredell County Fair for 9 straight days beginning this Friday at the Fairgrounds in Troutman. The town of Davidson presents the Music and Makers concert series on Saturday. Main Street businesses will feature handmade items produced by local makers. Take advantage of the social district and enjoy live music at the Crazy Pig Stage on 402 South Main Street in Davidson beginning at 2 p.m. On September 7th, see the top riders from the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship as they compete on a custom-built course at ZMAX Dragway. The playoff opener features a two-moto format for the 450cc class and the 250cc class, promising plenty of drama and excitement the moment the gates drop. The Super Motocross Fan Fest is a pre-race event taking place from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. where you can see the teams practice, prepare, and qualify for the playoff round and is included in the event ticket. Don't miss the biggest Super Motocross race of the year. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com or the CMS app for information and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
All community, all the time. Macintosh Law presents Community Centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to WSIC News Talk Now, and boy, do we have great news today. Sharpen your pencil, get out your pad of paper, and get ready to take some notes, because I'm going to. I cannot wait to come up and see what you've created, because we all need healing in many different ways. We just don't, we're not aware of it.
I agree.
So where we left off,
we were talking about the business.
Yeah.
As I created 30 suites. Practitioners can rent the suites month to month.
Okay.
So if there's a holistic practitioner listening that's looking for a place to practice, please reach out. I also have furnished daily rooms. So
Okay.
there's 4 furnished daily rooms that practitioners can rent by the half day or the full day. And I also have classrooms.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to have an event, a yoga class, a workshop, even an outside company that wants to have a sales meeting, I let anybody rent our classrooms. It's just a beautiful place to have a meeting. So that reminds me, too, to have people look at the events tab on our website.
Okay.
Because there's classes, there's fellowship, there's all kinds of things
I
happening.
can't wait to go back on your website.
Yeah.
I just got intrigued going over all the people that you have doing some amazing things.
They are amazing souls. I
Yes.
feel like they're my family now.
Well, and what a beautiful family if you could
Yeah.
choose.
Yeah,
You
right.
chose the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm kind of the mother hen. My background is all sales and marketing, and most of the practitioners don't want anything to do with that. So a lot of the times they're coming into my office and asking me for ideas on
Well,
how
that's
to
not
market.
their expertise.
Right. And so I love talking marketing, and I help them with social media. I put all of their information on the Soul Wellness social media. So we're on Facebook and Instagram.
And what are those names?
At Soul Wellness Inc.
Okay.
and Soul Wellness on Facebook. So yeah, you'll find me. But yeah, it's great to help them.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think that's amazing.
I'm
What-
very passionate about going out on your own and doing what you're supposed to do, what your soul wants.
Passionate about having a goal, achieving it, and doing good for everybody.
For sure.
What if you led a class on teaching women about how to open a small business or how to lead your way out of the corporate world? I
Right.
think that would really be encouraging and inspiring to some
Mhm.
people,
know.
because there's probably people that might be listening that are going, "Well, where do you start?
I know.
I have this idea, I have this dream." I mean, I know Dr. Lindquist for Hope House, she had a dream and she was like, "Well, I don't know what I'm doing, but I've got a dream and I'm going to do it." She stepped out in faith and made it happen. You went from soul sucking, your words,
I know.
to soul wellness,
That's exactly right.
which is amazing. And now you have this successful, and not only successful business, but also a beautiful space that
Yeah.
you've created. That took a whole lot more than just a little, well, I have this idea.
For sure. It took being very uncomfortable
I bet.
for extended periods of time in corporate America and job changing every few years, thinking, well, now that I'm selling something new and I'm in a different industry, I'm a little revived and this will be fun. And after a few years of it, I would go right back down to that same place of, what am I doing? I'm just wasting my time. And I am so much more than this, than making a company rich. I want to offer more. So I had to get uncomfortable a lot.
And
That speaks a lot to me.
When you decided to birth this business, did you find people were encouraging, or were people discouraging to you, or did they think, "Wow, this is a great idea," or they were like, "Yeah, that'll never work"?
No, I got a lot of encouragement. And then the
Wonderful.
owners of the mill, when I met them and started talking about space and leasing space, I mean, they're entrepreneurs. And I could tell by the way they were reacting to me, they were like, that's a really good idea. Like, this is going to bring a really good energy.
I was just going to
to
say,
the mill.
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was their words. This is going to bring a really good energy to the mill. So
Yeah.
they really bent over backwards to help me get the plan finalized. So
Did you have any mentoring along the way, or did you just?
one of my brothers is also an entrepreneur, and he
Fabulous.
is my mentor for sure. So yeah, there was a lot of phone calls with that one, and he's brilliant and has built his own business, and he was guiding me every way. A lot of people in my family have had their own business. I think everybody, pretty much. I was the only one that had not, even grandparents. So
Wow.
I think I was genetically wired to do it, but like I said, it took being uncomfortable in corporate America because it's hard. It's really risky.
It is.
It's hard to give up that paycheck. It's hard to give up that insurance coverage.
That's right.
It's hard.
But
you know something's better
That's right.
That's right.
on the other side.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
You talk about benefits, right? Well, there's so many more benefits
Yeah.
when you're your own, owner, and you can control a lot of the controllables.
I'm telling you, it is life-changing. You will not have the same stress load. You will
bet.
not have that ick every Sunday night thinking,
What am I going to do?
here
Yeah.
comes Monday morning. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you can't wait to get to work.
Now it's just a wonderful thing that I do. It's not work at all. I go visit with people that I love and go to this beautiful place that's got a great vibe.
That's awesome. That
And
is
yeah,
so
I'll
great.
wipe the floors down and dust, but it's a beautiful place.
I'm so glad you created that in our community.
Yeah, I am
really
too.
am. I just, and when you find these hidden gems, I know I recently found the meditation room across the street. I was like, I have driven by here 400,000 times. How did I not know that this healing space existed and that I wasn't aware of it? And I feel like I'm pretty aware of a lot of things and in a lot of spaces. So, and not being aware of your place, it always amazes me that there's so much more to learn and that this community offers so much to us.
Yeah.
And healing, thank you.
Well, thank you for having me on this show where I know people are listening and now they're going to discover us and
I hope
walk in the
so.
door.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope so. I think
Yeah.
that so many folks are struggling right now, and
That's
they're
right.
really
and it will be a changing day in their life.
yes,
For sure. I
Yeah.
see it all the time.
I know.
see people walking out in tears of joy or just this relief of, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's somebody here that's going to actually help me.
That's
I'm
right.
going to get this problem
Yeah.
solved because they're looking at the root cause, not just the symptoms I'm presenting.
No, we talk about this all the time. That there was an epidemic crisis of mental health issues prior to COVID,
Right.
and then COVID created a monsoon of them, and now there's people that are just existing in that space, and they're not coping very well, And you can see that by the news, by the energy that you feel and everything, the negativity. We need to really shift.
I agree.
You should. I mean, life is a gift, and you shouldn't just coexist.
We're shift shapers.
Yeah.
You and I. And our friend Kristen.
Yeah.
A shift shaper.
You have to say that carefully.
I was just thinking that. I was like, bro, I better be good about saying that. But I'm glad to know that a business like this exists.
I do
and that,
too. I'm thrilled.
Folks can get some help. And then the expo, December 14th from 11 to 4.
Well, I think that's a must for everybody.
That's a no-brainer. It really is, because you can come in and sample a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to know the address of the mill?
Yes, it is.
Let's give that.
500 South Main Street.
Yeah. Okay.
The entire mill has that address. So we go by suite numbers.
Okay.
And we are suite 113.
That's right.
And so we're right at the entrance of the mill. Right when you come into the entrance of the mill, you'll see Soul Wellness up on the building.
You will. Okay,
Wow.
great. Because I know that is a big building and you can get lost
I
in
know. We're right between Defined Coffee and Picasso's.
And you can spend
But
the
you
whole
know
day
what?
there.
People need to
eating,
go and get
shopping.
lost there.
Yeah, you can shop, you can eat,
Yeah.
you can get in touch with a practitioner. I mean, it's a whole day event up there. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do there now.
I'm always looking for a place to run away and hide. Aren't you, Margie? I'll say, I got to run
I can't
to
get
the
out of the
grocery
bed
store.
anymore, so yeah.
I know. But that grocery store trip took me 6 hours. You wouldn't believe it. But the trouble I got into. So that's amazing. I think that folks are really going to be excited to know that you exist. Yes, Dorothy, you exist here in our community.
Yes.
A fairy tale.
Yes. It's good stuff. And I love seeing people even come from Charlotte and beyond.
I wonder about that. Where do the clients come from?
They do. They come from all over, really. I can hear my tenants talking about it. Like, I can't believe that person just drove an hour here. Like, yeah.
How about like on Instagram and Facebook and all that? Do people reach out from you from all different places too?
Not that much, but a lot of people will just walk in the door. And if I'm there, I'm not always there, but if I am there, I get asked a lot about the practitioners, or, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. Who do you think I should see? And I love those questions, because I always have a resource, always.
Have you visited each practitioner yourself personally?
Almost all of them, except for the prenatal gals.
I was going to say, I think I'd pass on that one.
You speak from experience, minus the prenatal.
But yeah, there's some absolutely amazing massage therapists there. Structural integration, which is she's a licensed massage and bodywork therapist, but it's not the kind of massage you think. It's about finding balance in your body. So it's more of a push. It just feels very different than massage, but boy, it will get your body. Your posture will be correct, and you will be out of pain.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. There's a lot of different modalities in there.
Too many people are in pain.
Exactly. We have had such a pleasure with you today, Kristen Phillips of Soul Wellness, Inc. You have made me feel hopeful. I'm sure that you have made our community feel hopeful.
Yes.
I see Margie smiling a lot. That's a good thing when little smiles turns into big smiles here. And I know that folks are going to be excited to go visit on your website one more time.
www.soulwellness.net.
We got it. And see and visit all of the practitioners that are on there.
You'll be amazed.
Get yourself scheduled, get yourself healed, get yourself happy again and hopeful again.
That's right.
And we want to thank the McIntosh Law Firm for presenting this show, Community Centered, in our community with your friend Margi Kyle and Debbie O'Hanley.
What a gift you've been.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I hope that you, next time we meet, you can tell us about all the people that have gotten healed.
Wonderful.
That would be amazing. So next week we have Cool Kids.
Cool Kids Clubhouse.
Cool Kids Clubhouse. I'm excited to hear their story and see what they're doing in our community.
They do some great things.
We really are doing some good spreading of hope here with a smile, Margie. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And we will see you next week right here on Community Centered.
You got it.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville, W264CU Statesville.